Hello, everyone. Welcome to my death care final project. I'm doing this kind of rapid fire to go with the time limit. So, first off, giving immense thanks to everyone in the class, all of our facilitators, the land that I'm on, all the stewards of the land that have come before me, all the ancestors, just immense thanks. An introduction to my presentation is that I'm working on legacy interviews, and the Oxford definition of legacy is the long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc., that took place in the past or of a person's life. And something to meditate on as we're going through this is, what is your legacy? What do you want it to be? When I finally close my eyes, this is just a nice poem that I thought would be nice to start. When I close my eyes for the last time, I want to have lived, really lived. I want to know that I've tasted the smorgasbord of life, having relished the good and spat out the bad, knowing at least that I tried. When I'm done here, I don't want to wonder whether someone caught the kiss I threw. I'll know. I don't want to leave this life with an heart as empty as my pockets have always been. I want to know without a doubt I've left something of me behind, something that's good, not regret, for never making a difference. When I close my eyes for the last time, I would like someone to remember I was here. And this very much summarizes a lot of my why as to why I'm doing this work. I want people to know that why they were here, that their life mattered immensely. And I have a background in, psychology, dealing with people, doing podcasting, doing interviews already. So this was a nice kind of intersection of the work that I've previously done with death care. So we're giving people an opportunity to reflect on their legacy wisdoms, create a safe, comfortable space to do that, capture it all on video for the future if they consent to that, and really practice active, compassionate listening so that people can be seen and heard. The interviews I've done so far were anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. We've done it remotely, and I'm always thinking of, how can this space be better and better? And apologies as I'm flying through this, I just want to honor the 5-minute goal. So I also noticed that some of my questions were lighter kind of, and some were heavier, if you will. So I am sharing the questions that were kind of lighter or heavier. Some heavier ones are like, what do you think even happens after you die? Are you prepared to die? Some lighter ones are, what are your values? What has been like the highlight of your life? So as the interview was kind of going, I tried to alternate between these two questions as much as possible to keep the vibe kind of balanced. So as you're looking at these questions on your own time, what other questions can you think of? Who would you want to interview, to do a legacy interview with today? And then again, of course, what is your legacy? So far, I was able to interview my mother. I was able to interview my grandmother, and I have some other family members that are lined up. And I also need to interview myself, put myself in that hot seat. With permission to share, so much feedback has come through about the legacy of motherhood, of leaving children behind, of that love, that laughter, that fun, of being kind to other people. And I'm also planting the seed that if you would like to have a legacy interview with me, you can click this link right here and we can totally make something happen if that's something that you would want, kind of time capsuled for yourself. Some feedback that I got, some people were saying, I never really had the chance to think about these things before. I didn't know what to say at first, but I'm grateful to have been asked these questions. And then what was really impactful was you are my legacy. These stories and these values will live on through you. So needless to say, I was tearing up at certain points during the presentation. In conclusion, this legacy interview project has been a way for me to weave together the intersections of my love of family, storytelling, death care, creativity, and holding space. I hope we can all come together to feel seen, heard, understood, and loved, and help walk each other home. Here are some resources and inspiration that I pulled from, not only legacy project, legacy interview content, but also M's Faces of Fortitude project, really reminding me how much I like interviewing and how powerful it can be as a medium of storytelling. And I know I flew through that, but thank you. You will all get a copy of this slideshow to peruse through at your own. Another brief thing I wanted to touch on was my own grief that came up as I was doing this work. Long story short, I was doing these interviews and I lost some of the content that I thought I was recording. And I totally went through the whole cycle of grief. But coming out on the other side, just understanding like, whoa, what a good metaphor again for life. We can try as much as we want to cling on to the finite, but everything washes away. And doing these legacy interviews was a way for me to, want to honor people and their legacy and hold on to that. But also, as I experienced in the process, if something disappears, it's never really gone. We live on. So I have like a video of me processing my, oh my God, like my grief of losing that content. So I will upload the video once it gets done to this space as well. But yeah, it was just like, oh, hey, grief is here again, you know what I mean? But it came full circle. So no worries. Like the stories and the codes that they transmitted live on forever. And sometimes an oral tradition is enough if we don't write it down or record it, honoring that great oral tradition of my ancestors. And then here's just a bit about me. It's been a pleasure to be in this space with you all. I'm Kayla, super Pisces, everything, creator, explorer. You can read a bit more about me here. You can find a link to my work, and then you can find the link to the legacy interview if you would want to have that experience with me. Here's just another, I couldn't help but like creating more little graphics. So here is my personal death care toolbox. This is what I think I bring to the table, or my lane, if you will. A lot of this has to do with before death. So kind of like light life, ties into it a lot. And you can read that here. And then I also couldn't help but make like the community crisis care toolbox with some of the things that we had talked about. And here, I just wanted to share more interviews with people I've done in the past with everything from death care to world schooling to, online business and entrepreneurship and healing. So that's just a bit more of the interviews that I've done if you're interested in like what my style or vibe would be like. And yes, just wrapping it up to say your story matters. I'm so grateful to have been here with you all, and I love you so, so, so much. Feel free to ask me any questions, comments, whatever. Peace.